Not gonna lie, woke up with a little more pep in my step, a little more Irish in my coffee this morning. I can't really pinpoint as to why. I don't know. Just good vibes, feeling better about maybe my process. Just feeling better all around about basketball these days. And not exactly sure why, Nez. Not exactly sure why.
Yeah, it's always process over results until the results hit, and then uh, results over everything. No, in all seriousness, man. I know you've been kind of scaling back the volume a little bit play wise. So it's awesome to see you back up at the top. This isn't unfamiliar territory for you. You've got those horns. You had those horns before yesterday, so it was cool to see the hoops guy back in his rightful place with a just a beautiful lineup and doing what you said yesterday. You said you liked that Pistons Washington game, and you had three pieces from that game in your lineup. So hats off, man. That was sweet.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Obviously, get a little bit of run good there with the Jackson swap, both to get it and to be on it instead of going like the Jordan or the KCP or someone else from a different game environment route. So a little bit of run good associated with that, and then the Kawhi stuff too. I wasn't really heavy on Kawhi. I mean, I'm wearing my Clippers threads today to thank him for his contributions to the squad. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't big on Kawhi. We joked yesterday. It's like, man, you just never get the Clippers right. I have no idea
Yeah.
which one to pick on a given day. Blah blah blah. But his price tag was palatable. Those times where you could get him in the third round there. And as soon as Kuzma falls back to the Embiid stuff, maybe I was like, hey, this is a little rarer than I'm used to and put a condom on it instead of taking like Malcolm Brogdon, or maybe Brogdon went in front to allow me to do that.
Yeah,
But
that was happening too.
yeah, it was one of those classics, like, it just takes one, right? And that lineup was a straight 1v1 versus I saw Nick had the exact same lineup. I saw our guy Magikarp had the exact same lineup, but then the 1v1. And if you had asked me before the game started, like gun to my head, I would have taken Magikarp's lineup over mine because the
Mhm.
1v1 was Cade versus Kawhi, and I would have rather had the Cade side, right?
Yeah. It was
So
kind of wild, man, because if you were watching that Clippers game, it was as if Kawhi knew he needed to do it for you. Cause it was literally like nothing but like Kawhi. Like the offense was literally all Kawhi in the fourth
mhm.
quarter there. It was kind of
Well,
wild. I mean,
the, the the offense was nothing in the fourth quarter. So I watched a little bit of the game of the year, obviously, to kick off the day. I watched a little bit of I'm not talking Lakers Sixers. Your boy was watching a little bit of that Washington and Pistons game. Watched the first quarter of that. Then I took like a big hiatus, got like a workout in, made a nice little stir fry then, and
ooh,
then I looked at the lineups after, you know, I don't know, kind of like with the last game and being like, "Hey, do I have anything that's kind of live?" And I sent that lineup to you, and I said, "Oh, this might have a little something
I knew right
to it."
away that shit was.
So I turned on the game for the second half there, and it was hilarious because Kawhi goes to the bench to start the fourth, and Kawhi was my only catch up piece, right?
Yeah.
And I was 2 points back from the start of the end of the third, where Kawhi goes to the bench, and then he stays on the bench to the 9-minute mark, and then he comes out and he goes 0 for 7 from the
Yeah.
field to start that, and then eventually he just got like one free throw and a rebound, and it
Yeah.
brought me within like a point, and it was like, how is this a sweat right now? Like, this is so gross. And the Clips
Hmm.
managed to score like 12 points in the fourth, get laughed out of the building by a Joker Jamal-less, uh, Gordon-less
Yeah.
Denver team. Just insane, but happy it got home. Absolutely.
I don't have any Nugget stuff, so I'm wearing a Rockies hat to tip it to Reggie Jackson. And in our DMs, I
Uh-huh.
was I was touting a little DeAndre Jordan to you. I was letting you know. I was like, hey,
You were, man.
listen, man, they were. It was all part of the. It was all part of the thesis. Why did Jokic play 34 minutes against the Spurs when they were killing him? Because they were planning on him sitting. Why did DeAndre Jordan get 10 minutes of run? because they're
Yeah.
because it was a little warm up for his big game
Yeah.
against the Clips. But
Yeah.
yeah, that
Nice
was a
to
fun
see,
night, man.
nice to see the return of Lob City to, Los Angeles there.
Yeah.
Like, him and Reggie, I think there was maybe 3 or 4 alley-oops that I saw from that game. Love
Hmm.
to see that. Appreciate all the shouts in the Discord, in the chat, in all that stuff on Twitter. Everyone's just so kind when good things happen in this community, but that's evergreen. That is nothing new, whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's anybody else in the Discord there. But appreciate the kind words, and we got to throw some more kind words out there. Our guy Noah, who we talked up yesterday for taking down a football contest, then goes ahead, flips the script, and takes down a puck one last night. Yeah,
Rock Muffin
so
on fire, man.
dude, don't call it a heater. Don't call it a heater. Oh, man. So big shouts to our guy Noah as well. That's great to see. But no, man, all seriousness, we had a kind of very transparent conversation with Pete on Sunday there, where I know a lot of people are struggling with, hey, these games have gotten tougher, the fields have gotten bigger. I'm not winning as much as I once was. I'm not, we're all kind of feeling that in certain regards. And it's easy to say for me, like, oh, yeah, get a W and yeah, come fucking talk about this, John. Sure. But like, it is like, these things can be like mentally draining. Like,
Mhm.
I wasn't swinging like large sums of money by like, yeah, whatever. But relative to bankroll, I was never in a position where it was like, oh, this is going to put me out of house and home. But my volume has been considerably down, more so like comparative to last year. Like football, I was
Mhm.
guaranteed to get 100 in the BR, and I was guaranteed to get 8 in the DeBomb, no matter what. Like max enter that every single week. This year, I kind of like took my foot off the gas a little bit and been really concentrating on some other stuff and refining actually some of my poker stuff. Um, yeah. Anyways, long story short, I know that it's like kind of like it weighs on guys that like, hey man, like that there's some validity in being at the top of that leaderboard, right? Whether it's because of money, whether it's because of clout, whether it's because, just proving to yourself that you know the best plays. And it for me, it was like almost like a relief last night to put validity back on the program because we spend so much time doing this. I spend in particular more time doing content than drafting nowadays. So it's kind of like to put a little bit more validity back on the process and the things we talk about. That's what I'm most happy about and what I hope other people are most happy about as well.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting season because last year it was all BRs, and not that they were all super flat, but it wasn't top 3 out of 5,000 like the Dog Bowl is and
Mhm.
or was. And the
Yep.
Dog Bowl every single week, week in and week out, took up so much. Like that made up 50% of my bankroll every week
Mm,
was Dog
good
Bowl.
shout. Yeah.
Um, so the swings in your season long ROI, even with like, yes, I was fortunate enough to hit in week 2. Everything else has not been green, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
because we're playing this super top heavy contest of a qualifier, and it can kind of skew your own perception of yourself and your play and
Mhm.
like in your edge, and it's nobody's perfect. It's so hard to not let that affect you. But
No,
I
for
just think it
sure.
really does like kind of put it into perspective now that it's gone, and like now we have like these actual contests to like go. Like I think you're gonna probably notice a difference in ROI on the week.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because yeah, that's a really good point with the dog bowl stuff. Last year was also kind of like it felt like we always had a sweat, man. Like there's no doubt that these games have gotten tougher. Maybe we're part of the problem because this content is so readily available now comparative to in the past and like that sort of thing. Maybe we're mushing the games out here and there. But just like in general, the field is definitely way sharper, especially in the football stuff, and the contests are bigger. Because last year, I think back to like some of the shows we had throughout the season, and it's like man, like, Neumy had a sweat this week. You had a sweat this week. And we're talking like legit, like top 5 sweats in the BR. Like I've had maybe one this year compared to last year. It was like one a week in a given contest, let alone, So,
Right.
anyways, yeah, I don't know. We'll go more into, we've been meaning to do this and have like a kind of like a bankroll management, have a tilt management conversation, have a whatever maybe it's not best served after your boy has a win because that there's a little grain of salt on that one.
Yeah,
And yeah,
it's different.
um,
It's different. But yeah, this is the
exactly
timing. The timing was just purely coincidental because we have
coincidental.
been,
Yeah.
yeah, we really have been like having a lot of behind closed doors, just like meta combos about the games
Mhm.
and temperature checks, and it's only going to get ramped up. I mean, I know that everybody's money's gone in best ball. Not like
Mhm.
literally, but like that's money spent. Not really worried about that like we are in the weekly contests, but or the dailies and
No,
weeklies,
that's
but it's gonna be a similar situation
situation and
in
feeling.
the
Yeah, no,
finals.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's actually a really good point to bring up is the difference between the daily stuff and the BBM stuff. Like I've said it at nauseum. We've said it so many times. Hey, BBM, this is only the fourth slate ever. We'll throw around all this
Yeah,
data, we'll throw around all this whatever. It's only the fourth slate ever. So like we don't definitively know. You can surmise who some of the good players are, or if people are good, or whatever. But we don't definitively know. Whereas, it does. You can take a beating for 18 straight weeks plus the playoffs in NFL, and you can take a beating every single day in MLB, every single day in hoops. The mental toll associated with that for the daily stuff comparative to that is pretty hard, even if the money isn't as much, right? So yeah. Anyways, long-winded way of saying the take care of your mentals, right? Take care of your chickens, right?
oh yeah, yeah. We're only just beginning with the with the tilt.
Oh man. Big shouts in the chat. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are far too kind. But yeah, we gotta hit on one here. The two of you are killing it because Nez has been killing it for a minute here, ramping up his volume in the streets, and he found himself in the top 10 last night as well. There we
Yeah,
go.
I had my own
Um,
little Reggie Kawhi pairing
hmm.
going on.
What is VPN ad blocker? That's all right. Cool, Sketch. Let me see if we can bring this up for you here.
Ooh, look, that's pretty. 40 entries too, man.
Um, Yeah, we got 40 in last night. Actually, that was one thing I intended to talk about for half a second. I did say something the other day where I did voluntarily withdraw a bit from the account from the site, and that's something I haven't done in a long time. Win or I mean, if I had a big win, maybe take a little bit out to feel good about yourself and whatnot. But I did it for a different reason. I did it because I wanted to stop just clicking over and over and over again and actually formulate a plan for each given slate. And I
Yeah,
knew I wasn't going to be 150ing and whatever. So I was kind of like, okay, if I do this, I can just cap myself at like 40 one night, 35 one night, whatever, and like formulate a plan around those lineups. I thought it was a nice little process for myself. To be honest, the lineup that actually won was partly that process, partly not. But yeah, anyways, the winner there, as people may or may not have seen, getting Kuzma to fall in line with Embiid there was nice. The Embiid over Jokic stance was pretty important to
yep,
this night. Reggie Jackson swap for Aaron Gordon, where I was just kind of taking the Q tag to hope I'd get a swap later. Was kind of doing something similar with Jimmy Butler in the fifth today. Gafford and then Jaden Ivey. So the game environment that we talked about and some of our late round targets that we talked about. Love to see it. And then Nez, eighth
yeah.
place here. Zion Embiid. That was kind of rare for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that was Embiid at 2, and then Zion on in the second, and then a pick this. So I don't know what time I drafted this,
Oh, I
but
definitively know.
well, I mean, dude, Joel at 2, like
Yeah,
that kind of implies Jokic at 1. So it kind of feels like
exactly.
it was before the Jokic out, which is like I still got to Reggie Jackson. I think that
Yeah,
was
that's what I
more of a
mean.
yeah. I think that was
Yeah.
more of a like a hey, if Aaron Gordon's out, like there's some offense to go around type of play, and just trying to get my lick back, as the kids say, because Reggie Jackson absolutely boned me 2 nights ago when they played the Rockets. I think it was like I was mentioning on the show. But yeah. So
Yeah.
this was this was fun, and Gafford too. Gafford was a tough one for me, man, because I was yesterday. I was like,
Hmm.
man, I really like Gafford against the Pistons. I think this is like a nice little back and forth matchup, high total. Like, we talked about, you talked about you like the game, talked about how the game was gross, but like I liked Gafford. I like Gafford. And then I looked at projections, and this happens a lot, man. I looked at projections, and projections told me I was dumb. I was like,
Yeah.
I liked Gafford. They're like, nope, he's actually 10 spots lower in raw projection ranking compared to his peers. His ADP is bad, is what it was telling us. But like, I was like, but I like him. So I got him just enough, and obviously was fortunate enough to get him on this lineup. But I mean, it's not always going to work out like that. There are times where I think you do need to kind of like humble the ego brain that tells you like, fuck the projections, like you think you knew,
Right.
like you know better, like. But that's still something that I will never probably ever perfect, is like
Fully capitulate to.
my brain versus like what I'm seeing by people smarter than me.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad giving you a little shout out here that the Reggie was nice.
Thank you.
This is kind of what my thought process was, that it aligned with this timing where Jokic wasn't ruled out. He was still going 1-0-1 in some drafts, and then Gordon had been ruled out. So you went ahead and took a flyer in the sixth.
I think so.
Yeah, that checks out. That's exactly where my mind went with it. College Wi-Fi. That's funny. I don't know why it's funny to me. I don't know.
College.
Yes. If you set rankings for in the rankings tab, you can then choose which player gets swapped into, or at least try to. It's a reverse engineered draft as to who will go into the lineup spot. But if you take someone and then they are out, as long as you took them before they had an out tag, then they will just be swapped in for the highest ranked ADP or highest projected player according to Underdog. So that was not drafted.
Yep, and that will also work for late swaps or late outs, late scratches, that is, such as Jordan Poole or Markel Fultz, etc. So that's what's nice about us, is you don't have to take an L. You still have a shot at recouping some of your lineups if that happens.
Love it. Let's go ahead and talk about tonight, man. I wish we could bring up Fantasy Life for their beautiful Game Hub interface, but they do not have it for the hoops.
They're
so
niche down.
Yeah. So we're going to turn to our friends at Fantasy Labs for this one. Some interesting games, man. Some interesting games. I said to you before here that like I don't have like a crazy lean on like where I'd want to get exploitative on this slate right now. Yeah, I don't know. I that was like kind of like me admitting like I don't know shit, but that's not what I intended by the statement. I didn't intend it like I didn't fully intend it that way. It's just like there's no circle the slate game for me here, or circle the slate change of usage for me here, outside of me really liking De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, but then not loving the Warriors side of that game. And then me really liking one side of Atlanta versus Cleveland, but the Cleveland side that I like, there's four pieces to choose from every damn time, and I don't know who to get overweight on. It feels like the Clippers all over again. It feels like, we make the analogy with the Bulls all over again. The easy answer is just push up Spida a couple spots and start taking Donovan Mitchell in that upper echelon. But those were like my initial ones. And then in terms of like usage Q tags that are opening up things, we just had the Jimmy Buckets ruled out. So that kind of like makes Bam's ADP slightly underpriced, and maybe people are trying to get over the field in that regard. And then the LaMelo Ball ruled out. Maybe people get over on Bridges or Terry. I don't know. I was doing the Hornets stuff. It doesn't feel great. They got one of the lowest totals on the slate. It doesn't feel great. I don't know. Where have you been at, Nez? What games have you been attacking? What plays have you been attacking?
It's kind of, so like just really quickly, like just kind of a meta conversation about our game versus projections. Projections, like, yes, they like things are gonna vary day to day. Like obviously, like the the outcomes of these players' performances are not going to be the same. Obviously, that goes without saying.
Mhm.
However, when you load up projections day in and day out, like LeBron James pops every single time, he's always undervalued on Underdog.
Right.
Bam Adebayo pops every single night, and
Yep.
he's undervalued on Underdog by like 10 picks. And it happens every single night. Bam Adebayo is undervalued. And he's always like and people in our Discord are always going to be overweight Bam Adebayo because of that. And
Right.
it's like I looked at ADP last night, and as soon as I saw like, okay, like Bam was at pick 20, like, okay, this is ridiculous. I don't know how this happens every single time. And
Right.
then on the inverse, Jalen Brunson, always overvalued on Underdog, way low on projections, day in and day out. Who's to say who is right in these things? Because projections aren't infallible. But
Right. Of
I'm
course.
just to say, like, you're going to see standouts day in and day out.
Mhm.
I was really heavy on Bam pretty early. I liked
Yep.
Bam, but I was having trouble last night because I was doing my first runs, trying to see like what market was looking like, and I couldn't get like I wanted Bam and Chet, and I couldn't get both without having to like reach heavily, and I
Mhm.
ended up taking like Chet, but I thought projections would be like kind of catching up to Chet. They're really not yet. I mean, he's not like his projection is terrible, but he's not there yet. But Bam is still like in the chat. Chad
Mhm.
just said that he got Bam at like pick 18. Bam isn't like flying up boards. Maybe he was whenever Andy and Crutches, etc., are autoing and they've got Bam in the top 10. But
Right.
I like Bam. I like Bam a lot. And I like Duncan Robinson. And I
Yeah.
like Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah.
Like, I think that these are really interesting pieces. And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is an in-season tournament game.
Ooh, that actually I didn't even look at.
Like,
That's a great question. I think you're right
there's
now that you say that.
maybe I might be thinking of
Hold on.
another game here. But
Let me check.
regardless, there's a lot of beef, you know.
Yeah, it's still group play. Everything tonight is in season tournament. Good shout.
Bucks and Heat, man. These teams hate each other. Like
Yeah.
they play in the playoffs all the time, and it's always heated. Like Dame Lillard is slipping in drafts like a decent amount. Love Dame today. I got
Mhm.
Giannis 1 over Luka today
Mhm.
personally. Um, it's gonna be awesome. This is gonna be an awesome matchup, and this is one of the ones that I'm like circling. Is for sure
Interesting.
this Bucks Heat.
Yeah, because see, like, I don't think traditional wisdom would agree with you on that because
Mm-mm.
it's pace down spot, it's missing pieces. We know the narrative thanks to our friend Mike Zakarian there. We know the
Yeah.
narrative of guards cooking the Bucks basically now without Drew. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's something where you're kind of going like IKB versus the models by pushing up Dame, by pushing up Giannis to that uh to that level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna move on to a different game that that I'm like
Mm,
kind of struggling with. Uh,
yeah.
on the flip side, and that's Celtics and Bulls.
Yeah. It's how okay, this is a very interesting one because like how bad are the Bulls that they are what is that there?
13.
13 and a half point dogs to a Celtics team without Zinger, without Drew, maybe without Drew. He's got the Q tag.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I mean like dude, what? Like I
The
don't
Celtics are like it's a little bit of both. It's like, man, Bulls are trash,
yeah.
and the Celtics are favorites to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
This is a very 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 good team. I don't really know what to do with this. Like, I'm not like fading Tatum. Like, if Tatum is there for me at 4, because I'm taking Shea over Tatum, like
Yeah.
then Tatum is for sure a click. But I think I'm like fully off every bowl. I think
Okay.
like at cost.
Yeah, I was taking because they were falling too. Like I've got a couple like 6th round DeRozan where I'm just like, that's gonna project well if Levine sits,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of team total, regardless of game total, regardless of spread, blah, 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 right? Like he's going to project fine because like the usage is going to be there. Because we always take the Bulls when there's 2, not 3, right? The usage is so spread when there's 3. And now you got like some other wrinkles that are going in there. Like Kobe White had a really nice game the other night.
He's been kind of balling.
Yeah. I actually don't know the status of Caruso. I think he's most likely going to be out again as well.
Pretty sure it's still questionable.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, this is how I feel. Okay, never mind. Chad's reiterating what we said. I thought he was saying that Levine was out now. I got kind of excited for some of my exposures there for half a second. Yeah, anything else like just kind of like macro game environment wise? I mean, like Cleveland's really hard, but I'm pretty fine having like 2 Cleveland pieces just like beating the shit out of the Hawks in the same lineup. I mean, DeJounte Murray's ADP, like what are we doing here? Sure, he had one bad game and whatever, but like there's no Johnson now. Like what's he doing in the 6th round? He's there in the 6th round every single time.
It feels really good. He right now, like his projection is 6 spots higher than ADP. Okay. So yeah, like the projections would agree with you on that, and so would I. I think just one bad game shouldn't like really sour us, even though the Cavs aren't like a great matchup conversely, but total is still pretty high. So nothing to be
and we know
too scared about.
We know with Cleveland when they have like all 4 back, because we have like a really big sample from last year with all 4 of them in the lineup. They have the Twin Towers, blah, 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 that they do play slower, right? Like that was their thing. That's why when we were playing those playoff contests last year and it was like Knicks, Cavs, like those guys were sliding in those contests because like, oh yeah, this is going to be like the slog fest compared to, what else did we have in that same round? I think we probably had Warriors, Kings in that exact same sequence, right? And it was like, this game's going to project for 30 fewer points. Like, I can't get there. Well, this is kind of like not the same scenario because they're playing the Hawks, but like it's kind of similar in terms of like the usage is going to be so spread on the Cavs side. I don't know who I'm going to go to, but I'd like to have one piece in almost every lineup, right? Like that's kind of like just like a thought process there. But like I don't really want to ape it in the game because I don't love the Hawks side. I love DeJounte at price, but I think I'd rather take at the front end of draft boards all those other guys over Trae. Does that make sense? Like from the Warriors and Kings game. Like I'd rather have Sabonis, Fox, and Curry ahead of Trae today.
Sabonis and Fox for sure. Curry, I don't fault you for wanting Curry over Trae today, just because they get Draymond back today and it's the Kings, so that's obviously a really sexy matchup.
Right.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's like I like the Cavs, but like not liking the Hawks, even though they're in the same game, is just like it just feels wrong and dumb. But I love the Cavs today, and like I have a ton of Mobley, a ton of Garland, a ton of Spida, a lot of Jared Allen. It's like all of my teams have at least like 2 of these pieces.
Jared Allen and Garland are free in the same regard. This feels similar to yesterday when we came on here and we talked about pairing 2 of the 6th rounders in the same lineups in the 5 and the 6. Like you could go mini game stack in the 5-6 over and over again, Jared Allen and Murray, or you could go Garland and Murray, or you could even scroll the F down to Clint Capella. I wouldn't fault you for doing that late like that, although it's it's obviously thinner than the aforementioned. Yeah, anything else macro game wise? Other games we didn't talk about Raptors Nets there. We'll talk through some like the injury stuff and whatever as we go here. But yeah, I found myself thinking Scotty Barnes' price tag, point Scotty's price tag was way too low there early, and I think he's one of my higher exposed players as of right now. I wasn't taking him over Pascal, but I was basically pushing them up in tandem.
I have him over Siakam.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something with Siakam, but like I'm never taking him over Scotty.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Yeah, and the other one is Puddle in the last round there if Claxton misses. I think Claxton plays through the Q tag, and nobody's drafting Claxton right now, but there might be a little bit there with him back to back good games for our boy Jake Puddles. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just thinking through, range outcomes and stuff like this with some of those back end picks there. Currently overweight the Hornet stuff, as I alluded to, which is kind of scary because the motor that makes that game go is not there, and you're really asking a lot from Terry Rozier and Bridges and Mark Williams and that sort of thing. But I'm overweight Rozier right now and Bridges. I think Gordon Hayward and Brandon Miller and Mark Williams are all fine in the last round. But I'm gonna be on an island there.
No, dude, I'm with you. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. Like I think like I know the spread. I know no Lamelo. But I like this. I like this spot. I like these. I like these guys. I like these guys that cost
I
like quite a
know.
bit, man. Like I think Terry, like without Lamelo, like he's gonna shoot so goddamn much. Redacted Bridges is also like playing a shit ton of minutes and playing really well. We're here to win money. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's
We can take our personal feelings out of the matter.
yeah. Unfortunately, Miles Bridges is balling. So he's not like just without Lamelo, just this entire team changes, and I don't really have a lot of good data or info to like pass along about this team sans Lamelo, but. I'm the idiot that's willing to take a 12-point dog without their best player, on my teams.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
when you put it that way, it's kind of like, oh god, what am I doing? But like, I don't know. Brandon Miller started for Melo in the second half last game, played big minutes. I don't know. Like, it's obviously thin and gross and whatever, but like, if they play with tempo and they knock some shots, I mean, we saw them do it last year all the time to us in all those late game. Maybe this is what's living rent free in my head. All the end of year garbage time slates where we were just playing the shit out of Terry Rozier plus Kelly Oubre. And we
Yeah,
were just like, yeah, just take them in the fifth and the
yeah,
sixth.
yeah.
And
They're
we
gonna
see
shoot.
what's
They're gonna
happening.
shoot 100 times each. Like, just
Yeah,
take them.
this is like the same like Jordan Poole bro science thesis right now. So yeah, he's gonna put up 20. Some have to go in, right?
Exactly. That's literally where it's at. And just like the fact that this feels like projectable volume, projectable usage is what kind of
Mhm.
makes this feel good, even though it might amount to like less than 30 fantasy points. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
Um, Randall's going to put up a 50 burger eventually and bury us all. It's going to happen. I have no idea what's wrong with Julius Randall right now in terms of like just filling up box scores. I haven't watched a ton of him this year. I'm not going to lie. I haven't watched a ton of the Knicks. Has he
he,
been playing poorly? Have you noticed this?
his
Have
shots
you?
just aren't falling. Like he's very
Yeah.
like he's not a fun player to watch play.
Yeah, I agree
But
with that.
but he's like Joe Mixon, like
That was my Tobias Harris comp yesterday. Like you need 20, he's gonna give you 20. You need a ceiling, he's gonna give you 20. Like
yeah.
that's
I mean,
he's
because
the Joe Mixon.
he's that projectable, like, because he shoots the ball so damn much. It's just his success rate, his true shooting is just terrible. But it's bound to regress in some way. So I definitely am not fading Julius Randle today, but God, I don't want to be overweight Julius Randle either, because that's nothing more
Yeah.
frustrating than
Well,
that. But he kind of seems like he might feast on a bad team.
yeah, right? Like it just feels like okay, it's finally his spot kind of deal because we've been looking at it. We finally got the Brunson game last game. Now all of a sudden it's just like, okay, are we just gonna get a Randall game here against an awful team that yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of like the thesis for me.
Yeah, that's like the bro science thesis. This front end of the draft board, you had the hot take of Giannis over Luca today. You sticking by your guns there, or are you mixing and matching?
We'll see. Like I'm running fairly hot on both right now, so
Okay.
thank you to the RNG gods for that. But no, as long as I'm manually drafting, I'm going to be taking Giannis over Luca, which I am doing a lot more hand building today.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely on the Luca side of that one. I'll point out some ADPs that I was really struggling with, and I want to get your take on it. How about that? Instead of
Cool.
going down the board, I was really struggling with what to do with Trey in this range because, as I
Mhm.
alluded to, I like the King stuff slightly more. What were
Yeah.
you doing with Trey?
with 0.2 ADP, like here's the thing, like it is only 0.2 ADP, but just like seeing Trey over Fox, like I feel like that 0.2 is actually like more than just 0.2, because when you see it in the app, like how often are people actually taking Trey over Fox? However, I am putting Fox over Trey, like you mentioned. Like
Mhm.
you said, you liked Fox over Trey, so do I,
Yep.
and I'm not
I might
budging
like
on that.
Fox over Sabonis.
I've heard
I
other
mean,
people
like,
say that, but I can't. Like
yeah,
Sabonis is just so consistent. Like Sabonis floor is so much safer than Fox's floor, even in this
that's
matchup.
true.
So
I've
and
actually
I'm a,
put
you
the
know I'm the condom guy, so
I put them together a decent amount because I think they're
sure.
positively correlated in I mean, maybe not their ceilings aren't fully positively correlated, but I think they're positively correlated in the same vein that like Hallie and Miles Turner are positively correlated. You know, high
Hmm.
side screen and rolls,
Yeah,
boards, the assists are gonna go run through that. Yeah, I don't know. So I've put them together a couple times.
and
Um,
there's no Keegan Murray, correct?
correct. Yeah.
That's pretty good for the usage bumps there. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna get to like Malik Monk or the Red Rocket Herder, but
Yeah.
I think that
Redacted site definitely will at this point in
yeah.
time. If no, I mean, maybe that'll change with the Miami stuff and some quote unquote cheap value opening up with like Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry. Maybe they become better plays than like backups in Malik Monk. But I don't know. I just throwing it out there that
Hmm.
some of the old hashtag models were spitting out Malik Monk to me this morning. Um, next one I want to ask you about, Nez, is the Sangoon versus Dame versus Spida in this range. And then I think what's going to happen over the course of the day, because I think it's kind of a tier break after Anthony Edwards, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you feel differently. And then I think Bam's going to kind of jump up in this tier as the day goes on. And I think what the models are going to tell you is that Dame falls below this grouping in terms of like projection. Um, I don't know. Where do you come out on this?
Yeah, as of right now, to rank it based on the projection blend I'm looking at, it's Bam, Spida, Shengun, Lillard, and Lillard is like behind the likes of Kyrie and Cat. I don't, like I said, I'm not putting him in there in my personal ranks, but
Sure.
that's where
Yep.
they have him. I don't have the hard data, but I do think that the Mavericks really struggle against bigs because they all they have is like this rookie Derek Lively, who's been a little nice little spark plug there. But I think Shengun is going to feast. But this game kind of has an interesting total, or an interesting pace going on because the Rockets are now this like fundamentally sound basketball team, which is
Yeah.
like really
Complete
strange.
opposite of last year. Last year
Yeah,
they were like the Hornets light, where it was just like they just get cooked, and then they go
yeah.
and then Jalen Green just go run and shoot.
Yeah, and I still like Jalen, but for me, I guess like the TLDR is I'm going in my ranks respecting ADP is Spida, Shengun, Adebayo, then Dame.
Spider, Shangoon, Bam, Dame. Okay, so you
Hmm.
you would flip those two there.
But I love Shengun today.
Okay.
Like Shengun is such a beast, man. He's special. Like he's God, he's so good. I can't believe he's only 21 years old.
Yeah, I mean that's nuts. Actually, I didn't even realize how young he still was.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. He's cooking over there. But love Spida against the Hawks. This feels like
Mhm.
a really, really awesome recency bias spot to take advantage of because he hasn't had many good games. That is Donovan Mitchell. The Cavs themselves haven't had many good games, but this is such a get right spot. I think you just like gotta go process over box scores and play and jam in Donovan Mitchell today.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that shout then. Um, this is where things get really murky for me because you can sell me this pen as the chat is trying to do, Nick in particular trying to do with the get right spot, Tibbs wanting to just get Randall going. This is the matchup. Just get him out there, feed him, feature him. We got the Brunson game out of the way. Here we go. I can buy that narrative, right? I alluded to the fact that I like the Bridges stuff. You alluded to liking the Mobley stuff. Chet feels like maybe not even poor man's, maybe this is offensive to Chet, but poor man's Wemby in terms of he's always around discount comparative to like, because if Wemby's on this slate, his ADP is between 8 and 12, right? If Chet's on this slate, his ADP is between 15 and 20. They offer almost the same in terms of ceiling. It's just the range of outcome is so polarizing, right? It's like we got 25-point games in range of outcomes, and we got 65 in range of outcomes if the stocks get home, basically, right?
Yeah, I love me some Chet. Can you give me your guess as far as Wemby versus Chet Rookie of the Year odds right now?
Ooh. Um,
American betting odds.
yeah, that makes it even harder for my broken Canadian brain. Well, I think it would amount to Wemby being like a 3-1 favorite. So it would be like Chet would be like plus 350, something like that.
It's way closer than that.
What is it?
Minus 140 for Wemby,
Yeah.
plus 100 for Chet.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's way closer. That's way closer than I would have thought. Yeah.
Chet is one of the best centers in basketball right now. He's phenomenal. And I thought for sure, and I know that the T-Wolves are a tough spot, but I thought for sure we would see Chet catch some steam. And I mean he is over Kyrie, but I love Chet today. I want Chet, but I don't want to pay a premium for him. And you had to last night. Today you don't, because projections are out. So
right, yeah, exactly. That hence the Wemby comp, right? Like the Wemby comp rings true in terms of like they'll never project as good as their ADP, so they'll always fall in drafts. But like the volatility and the way in which they score can push them, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to completely fade these guys that are top 20 in ADP. Like it's just a unique play because we know how sharp people are going to play, and they're not going to have a lot of lineups with these people. Hence the Gafford leverage too last night.
Yeah, that's a good show. Yeah, I mean, comparing Chet and Gafford, but the leverage, yes,
the styles of plays that they are is real. I mean, I think I would be. I mean, I don't know how the Discord is handling Chet today, but I would venture to say that they are going to be fading him. I would venture to say that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Like that was my initial line of thinking when looking at like this kind of grouping. Shit, you brought up Kyrie. Kyrie to me is very similar to Bam. Bam with Jimmy ruled out is different than Jimmy in.
Yeah.
Like let's just say that. For me, Kyrie is that same model where it's like, Bam is like routinely going to be in the 18 to 20 range when Jimmy is in and healthy. When Luka is in and healthy and going 1-0-1, Kyrie is routinely going to be in this range, but they're always going to pop in projections higher than their ADP. But I'm not 100% sure those ceilings exist to the extent in which we want to give them credit comparative to the projection models.
Yeah, I'm scared shitless of Kyrie today.
Right. Yeah. Okay. 100%. Yeah. Okay. We're on the same page.
100% scared of Kyrie today. I don't want to fade him necessarily, but man, I think Mobley, Barnes, both are like probably going to be more often than not clicked ahead of Kyrie for me today.
Yeah, I'm very similar to you there. Do you like? I would basically push this whole grouping above, and then it's a kind of like a
if he falls,
choose your own adventure between Bridges, Brunson, Siakam, and Chet.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, this is one of these slates, man, and I think this is probably like more evergreen than not. Where like I really want to be in my lobbies drafting because of these nuances.
Yeah, I do feel similarly to you in that regard there. Heard some smart people pushing up Fred VanVleet today. Are you pushing up Fred VanVleet today?
I think he's fine where he is. Yeah. I mean, maybe over Jaylen Brown, but I think he's kind of fine where he is. I don't want to push him up over like all these guys, but I think that his, the duds of his past games are behind him, and like Houston's really kind of finding their footing. Dallas is interesting because they kind of looked good to start, but I don't think that they're actually good. So
Yeah.
I do think that this is going to be good for Fred, but you can get him
Yeah.
like at cost.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Fred's minutes have been insane here. A little context from the chat here. This is good. Where Chad's saying that there actually is positive correlation between Sabonis and Fox, confirming my bro science with actual intelligence. Appreciate you for that. Mr. TD saying he's on that Trey stuff just because Trey is too heavily involved. And then Nick providing the little nugget that the get right spot with Tibbs, get Randall going. So, our resident Knicks
Yeah.
homer is providing the insight that we need there. Yeah, I do agree with Mr. TD here, though, that Chet does feel more developed at this point. 1 year of NBA development, right?
Yeah, even though it was on the sidelines, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Just yeah, interesting. Actually, speaking of MLB development, did you see them change Grady Dick's shot? This is so like sidebar. And I saw somebody.
I saw some tweets about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
like
can't remember who someone reputable was tweeting about it. How it's weird that they come into the league with like these reform shots and then they change them right away. I don't know.
yeah, some of these college guys have funky mechanics, but like Halliburton, like
Right.
his shot looks ugly and it
Yeah.
works. I think
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta, maybe I can understand wanting a quicker release or something, but
Yeah.
you can't completely change these dudes like fundamentals. Like you're gonna give them the yips.
Right. I mean, Sean Marion played what 15 years in the league shooting chest passes,
Yeah,
like dead
it
ass,
works.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Hey,
was Jarrett Rojas in the chat saying it was Sam Decker,
okay.
which like
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So good shooter in his own right back in the day. No,
yeah, I was,
yeah.
but
I mean,
he's
good college
not
shooter.
not in the league anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Short lived.
Um, yeah. Anyways, I just like thought of that for whatever. Yeah, there you go. Reminds me of the Markel Fultz one. There you go. Good UW boy goes first overall. Broken ass jumper. Like the kid just played like fluid and effortlessly, and then he gets to the league and they just try and reinvent everything about him, and it just completely all falls apart, including his body. Yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate. I don't know. He's revived his career in some respects though, so you
Yeah,
like to see that.
yeah,
Anyways,
for sure.
tangent. Okay, the Chicago stuff, as we alluded to, not sure who to pick. I think they both become popping values if we get Zach LaVine news. Other than that, I think I'm only taking, just shots at each of them in the 6th round when they fall. So I had been pushing up Terry, I'd been pushing up Bridges, I'd been pushing up DeJounte and Garland over that kind of like grouping. And then when the Chicago guys fall, I would just go ahead and, 6th round. Okay, maybe LaVine gets ruled out and it's Vooch night. Maybe, no zinger, no whatever. Just cooks an old asshole Al Horford for a couple boards and a couple putbacks. That was my bro science. I don't know. What do you think?
Mikal Bridges is one of my highest owned players today.
Okay.
Taking him quite a bit. The Raptors to me just kind of stand out as a matchup that I think is like sneaky good for opposing teams. So Bridges, Dinwiddie, I think Cam Johnson is likely to play, but like that doesn't really change like
Yeah.
Bridges a whole lot. Like he still plays a ton, but Claxton. I'm really into Claxton today too. In the 6th, I see him available all the time. In
So
the
you think
6th
he's
round,
going to play?
yeah, I think he's in.
Though they already listed him available? Okay. I haven't seen the most recent injury report. I'll pull it up right now. Here. Okay. Yes, confirmed, available. There you go.
Yeah, I'm into Claxton today.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, and then we got the Cam Johnson probable tag, and then Cam Thomas is out definitively. And then
Cam Johnson with a cramp. I know you feel me on this. You ever wake up in the middle of the night with a Charlie horse in your calf that's just like so powerful and strong that like it hurts the next day and you kind of have a limp? Has that never happened to you? Or are you just so well
Known
hydrated?
as I'm an athlete. I stay hydrated at
That's
all
the point.
times.
I am an athlete. I am an athlete. I'm so dehydrated because I work so hard.
I sleep
It
in the
happened to me the
LeBron
other
hydro chamber, bud. That's what
it
I'm
happened to
like.
me so badly the other night. I had to like roll off the bed and like dude, it was so bad. I was like, fuck. Bria was so scared. Oh
Are
dude, it
you
was bad.
dying?
And I like had a limp the next day. I had to walk it out like for an hour. It was awful.
Potassium deficiency. There you
Yeah,
go.
we've
That's
got our liquid IV in here now.
there you go.
We got our electrolytes up.
Mix in a banana, bud. Um, later, Nick. Good luck in the streets tonight, dude. Oh man. There we go. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Back to you had that one. All right. What were we talking about? Claxton. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah. Claxton's in. I like it.
Six.
I like him in the sixth. Kind of think that the Nets are a little sneaky matchup there. Gobert is always somebody that is like that's way higher in projections, but I mean, I'll mix him in the sixth, but no, and everybody kind of feels similarly about Gobert. It's just like you'll get your recommended daily value and move on.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on Brooke Lopez? Our internet underdog father T-Box suggested that his ADP was too high on the tweet machine.
High.
Yeah, it's too high. Yeah, I think people 100%. Are doing a box score watching with the last couple games where he just filled it up on stocks. Yeah, look at these stock numbers, just outrageous. 7, 5, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, that Brolo night against the Wiz hurt bad. I did not have enough Brolo there. That broke a nice little winning streak I had going. That one felt terrible. But I mean, I like Brolo, but just not against the Heat, man. This is a lot of you're paying. This is an overpay for Brolo, and I'm not saying that he's never gonna like fall to the sixth. Like, sure, in the sixth, be my guest, but I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I mixed him in the sixth a couple times there, but I think I was catching the falling knife just in my mind there a little bit. One thing that does low-key scare me about the Brooklyn stuff is like now we got like everyone back, like this has got to be, outside of like Thomas, we kind of got, and Simmons obviously, but like we kind of got like everyone back and it becomes hard to choose. I think Bridges is obviously still forever going to be my favorite of that grouping, but I do like your idea of like maybe a little leverage in Claxton over Dinwiddie in the last round there because everyone's clicking Dinwiddie and no one's clicking Claxton. So, that was a guy who was putting up defensive player of the year numbers at the start of last year's season, right? Like he can fall into some stocks in a big way.
Exactly. And dude, I think Mikal is just being so overlooked. I mean, we know he has like that stock capability, right? Like he can give you those big stock games, and his PRA right now is at 32.5, which like is much better than, I mean, Dinwiddie goes behind him, but it's 4 points better than Dinwiddie's or 4 total better PRA.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just really into Mikal today. Really into Mikal.
Okay, I like it. Appreciate you, Crutches. Thank you, bud. This is interesting. Nick versus T-Box through the sharper minds with 2 separate processes. They're the hand builders versus the autos. Yeah. And one's on Brolo and one's not. You love to see it. And if we do factor in T-Box is Wisconsinite as well, right? He's in that Milwaukee.
Yes.
Range too. So might have a little hand on the hardwood there. Some of these back end guys you alluded to, just like in Cleveland in general. Jared Allen had a huge pop off spot. It was 2 games ago, something like that. Where was it? Yeah, 2 games ago against the Lakers. There, 37 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, that buried me as well.
Love to see it. As kind of one of these like late clicks. Who else are you willing to scroll for, Nez? I've seen some smart people taking Draymond. I will not be on the Draymond train, I don't think. He's coming back from suspension, 5-game suspension. It's not injury related, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, like maybe that matchup versus Sabonis, he could find his way to some good stocks and some good assists. But like Draymond is just never a guy on an 8-game slate that I think has the ceiling to matter in the last round of these drafts. I can't remember the last time we got a Draymond 50 ball that broke a slate.
Yeah, he's not going to break the slate for you by any means, but he also can give you like 10, 9, 8 in like 2 and 3, which,
Mhm.
quick dirty math there is like, close to 40.
40,
And
yeah.
he's got a pretty good projection as well
Mhm.
today. I think he ranks like 30th. And low key he was like kind of playing well
Okay.
before the suspension.
Yep.
Just like some of like his box scores that he had, like 9-9, 7-1, which isn't going to do it for you. 18-3, 8-3-1. Like he was scoring a little. He had a stretch there of like double digit games, always flirting with 10 boards. He's
Mhm.
like you said, he's not the ceiling. He is not the ceiling. And in an 8-game slate, you are gonna have like ceiling competing there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think if you were trying to put a condom on a team, I think Draymond is a great one to throw on there in this matchup. I think
Yeah, that's
he's
fair.
there's no way I think that he goes like less than like 32 fantasy points today.
That's fair.
But
Yeah.
that's not
I
gonna
mean,
probably win you anything.
I don't think it's probably going to win you the slate. Yeah, I mean, maybe it gets you a couple min cashes, but I don't see him as like slate break ceiling. Where I see like Claxton could just be like the focal point tonight, or like we talked about Puddles earlier, right? Like Pirtle could be the focal point of the offense in some regard tonight. I mean, maybe a little less so now that we get Claxton in, but yeah. Alluded to liking the scroll the F down Hornets guys, like just, picking one at the back end and being like, hey, one of these guys is the guy that you need who pops off in that offense tonight and kind of like carries the team. Kyle Lowry, and like if you want to go in the direction of filling the void in Miami, I mean Lowry, not overly exciting. I'd probably rather go the Duncan Robinson route, but just a name of consideration. Anyone else down here, Nez, that you're prioritizing?
No, it's just pretty much where I call it, but I do think that
Okay.
these Miami, well, I guess Jaime Jaquez, like I am like throwing in the sixth, along
Okay.
with Lowry, like you mentioned, and Duncan, like you mentioned. I think those Heat guys are really uh, undervalued right now, and being overlooked. And this we keep talking about this Bucks defense being vulnerable.
hmm Speaking of Heat, former Heat, and Crutches adding in the chat that Max Struess in his player pool as well. You alluded to how much you like the Cleveland stuff.
Yeah,
Will you go as far as to like a Levert or a Struess or something like that?
I don't want to. No,
Yeah.
I won't. But I don't think that that's like bad, But
Yeah.
I won't be doing that. You can't get everybody. I mean, you can, but I'm not gonna I'm not
He
gonna
falls
kill myself trying to get every single player that I think has viability.
Strus falls into the bucket of the minutes had been so insane for a stretch there, kind of like were talking about with like Shaden Sharp, kind of like we've been talking about with Fred Van Fleet, is man, like he was just getting like 35, 38, 37, like night over night there to start the season. Any last names you would want to mention, or shall we start drafting?
No, let's hit a draft and see how real this ADP
Oh,
actually is.
I should okay, good. I was like, I just clicked a bunch of random players' names. They're all gonna be at the top of the
Yeah,
queue.
we're drafting
Um,
Spencer Dinwiddie 101.
yeah. We're already at 50% here, 12 p.m.
This is
Pacific
feeling
Standard
fast.
Time. This feeling quick, They see when a fish like me wins the night before, you see the fill rates push up. They're like, "Oh, this fucking idiot can win, so can we,
These
baby."
guys are beatable.
Yeah, these lobbies are so soft.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, man. You restored faith into the ecosystem. Good job. We
Oh
appreciate you.
man. Oh
After this, man, I promised
yeah.
the Twitter folks that I'd build a fun pick 'em because I drafted my ass off last week, and I know I'm getting a fat rakeback stimmy. So
Mm. All right.
So we got to build something. I'm
The
thinking
the
Spider.
Nez Nuggets guarantee lock of the century. Absolutely financial advice. Definitively will put your kids through college. Put the mortgage on it. Vegas Dave, eat your heart out. Lock.
Satire.
Thank you for specifying for the audience.
All right, you're
I'm
all
Luca.
aboard.
Yeah, I'm Luca, man. I know the Giannis game can be there. I just yeah.
It's
I don't know.
Luka versus Giannis. You know, it doesn't take like a ton
Yeah.
of explaining.
Right. Yeah. The one thing with the thing that kind of looked maybe went a little bit overlooked last night, and I was thinking about this when I was watching the Clippers and Denver game, right? Watching that game, and I'm going, okay, what did we do projection wise and swap wise when Jokic and Gordon were ruled out?
What did we do projection wise when they were ruled out?
Yeah, like we boost the shit out of Jordan, out of Reggie Jackson, whatever. But I didn't even think the other side of the coin was like, hey, just get to Zubac. Like, like there's there's no Plumlee, there's no, like Thias has been playing, but like, yeah, anyways. I was kind
No,
of like,
yeah.
what's the inverse of that? We're so quick to like ape the other side of that one. So like I kind of think, what's the inverse of like Bam being, having to run a lot more through Bam for the Heat tonight without Jimmy buckets? Is that good or bad for Giannis, for Brook Lopez, for whatever? Like, what's the inverse effect of Bam? And there you go. Bam goes at 7 there for crutches. I don't know. Just curious.
Yeah, I think you could probably, just give a boost to Giannis and Dame a little bit.
So you do think it is? You do think it's a positive? It's a net positive that that
I would think
buckets
so.
is yeah.
He's such a good defender,
Yeah, that's true.
and he does kind of slow the game down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Crutch is just doing it for the bit, he says. That's the most respectable reason to do anything on this app is.
It's very true. Very true. We get the Sacramento pairing here at the front end. I like it.
Chad says it's correlated.
Did Steph fall back to us?
Yeah, man. People like that's what I'm telling you. This Steph ADP is fake.
Yeah, I mean, like
I like it here.
Yeah, I mean, I like it with Luca. That's my first pairing of Steph and Luca.
Nice.
So I mean, that's probably a good thing. I kind of like him tonight. I don't know. He doesn't do anything really for you.
I mean, I think Draymond back helps him.
Yeah. All right. Who do you like with the next one? Are you team Dame here? Do you like Cat? Cat's been playing some good ball. Or do you like pushing somebody else up?
I think I'm cool with any of these top 3.
I think I like Cat more than Dame. Let's take Dame. No buckets. Dame. It's Dame night.
I guess it's leverage off of Giannis. I think there's like 2 ways to look at that. It's like I don't want Dame because I think Giannis goes off, or like I want Dame because I don't have Giannis and I want to, I want to beat the Giannis teams that way.
Right. Yeah. That's a good. Yeah. That's true. I didn't think about it like that. So that's a good. That's a good.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah. Hey, shouts to Mr. TD there. Won the $3 the other night. Thanks to Austin Reeves Garbage Time. We love Austin Reeves around here, and we love you got your horns, bro.
Reeves is another one that the projections don't love, but we love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this Chip reiterating your point here that the Luka Dame pairing when you pass on Giannis makes a lot of sense, right? Like a little bit of double bubble, little leverage there. Thank you, Johnny Basketballs. Thank you. That's our guy. Actually, he sent me a DM last night. He was like, dude, we were sweating it, man. We were watching. I was watching with my wife. We were sweating it. We were cheering you on. I was like, oh, thanks, man. That's so nice.
Let's see what Crutches does here. Randall falling. Yeah.
This is always the counterpoint. This is the counterpoint to Dame. This is the counterpoint to Kyrie every single night, where it's like if they're not the distributor guy, even though they're the ball in the hand guy at some frequency, they're basically just trading possessions with the other player, right? So the ball isn't gonna like the offense isn't gonna run through them. And that's always like the bull case, bear case when you're talking about the secondary option who's not a distributing ball handler who they basically just trade possessions, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I get what you're
Dame,
saying.
Kyrie, like those types of players. Scotty Barnes at 19. I like that. Chet going at 16 there, as you alluded to. He doesn't fall
It's
that
weird.
much, right?
Yeah, I mean, W is in our chat, so I think that kind of
Mhm.
makes sense
Yep.
why we see Chet go up. But his ADP, he's got a very wide range of outcomes as far as where he can get drafted, and a lot of these guys do in that third and fourth round.
Is that Wow Everest Yeti? It is, right? Wow Everest Yeti. What's that mean?
It's like a WD though.
Oh, it's a D.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know how
right.
to say it. He's in here, or he
Yeah,
was.
let us know because I'm too stupid to figure it out.
Yeah, I would love to know what. The last time we had a question about someone's username, they're like, "Yeah, I don't know, dude. I was just pressing buttons."
That's
Like,
so
what the
good.
fuck?
It's
How do you
kind of like
remember
us
that?
drafting. Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
like us
literally.
drafting.
I don't know, dude. I'm just pressing buttons.
Okay, what do you say we pair the bridges together and we build a bridge on this lineup to first
Ooh,
place?
okay. I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah. Do you like that better than like Rozier plus Bridges or DeJounte and Garland could be like a flip the board kind of thing?
That is fun. I think Garland is definitely someone that I'm considering in the fifth and trying to get um
Do the
it,
Bridges.
unique combos with too instead of just waiting. Okay, here he is. Ever been to Animal Kingdom? I have, but
Animal Kingdom like in Florida, like Disney
Walt
World?
Disney World Everest Yeti, I think is what that
Oh,
stands.
all right, all right.
Are you a Disney adult, Everest Yeti?
A
No,
Disney
no disrespect. No disrespect. I love myself some Disney. I'm just asking. I'm just
Okay,
asking
hold on.
questions.
Let's get to the bottom of this. Everest Yeti, Everest Ride, Disney World. Here we go.
Let's get
Came into
demonetized.
effect. We'll just look at pictures. Oh, okay, I got you.
That's awesome.
It's like Matterhorn, you know?
To like make your whole internet identity around this is just like props, respect.
Dude, he built it with his bare hands.
You built the deck at Aqua?
He built it. Yeah, what did you turn into? This is normal programming, GA. This is what we do around here. We draft teams and we bullshit. Oh, T-Bear. Okay. Terrence was talking more about the zoo box stuff. I mean, it's fair. It's fair. Man, we got to go back to that Clippers thing. I don't think we gave the Clippers enough shit for losing that game last night.
Dude,
you have a team.
They're
dude,
trash.
Paul George had 4. I think he had 4 points. I mean, actually, I think he knocked like a free throw or something like late in the game. I think he had 6 points and 5 fouls. Like it was just like, what are we doing? Like,
that's great for my agenda, which is to just like, I don't know what Clipper to take. Just take Paul George. It's simple. Just take Paul George.
Yeah.
That wasn't the answer last night, but
right.
moving forward, it's going to be even more the answer.
Oh man. Crutch is always good. Crutch is the hottest man on the planet. Always good for a good tilt as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Clippers are bad and the Thunder have their picks, Chip. That's the craziest part of all. They don't even get to reap the benefits.
I didn't even realize that. That's obviously part of the Paul George stuff from back in the day.
Yeah, and I guess SGA too. I don't really remember. They've made so many damn trades.
Oh, yeah, the SGA trade, yeah. But wait, no, SGA was part of the Paul George deal, wasn't he? He must.
I think so. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't keep track like that. I just know that Sam Presti has every first round pick that you can think of.
So there we see DeJounte getting pushed up over Rozier. We're seeing Garland get up the board here as well. That 6th round Vooch feels good. Jarrett Allen goes there. Feels like Claxton. We've been talking about Claxton. I don't see a name I prefer in this range other than maybe taking Levine and hoping for a swap or hoping for a Levine to play. But, Claxton might be in as good a spot. Although pairing with Bridges probably isn't the greatest thing in the world. Who do you like?
I do like Claxton, but like maybe Jalen Green too.
Yeah.
I do like Jalen Green.
Let's take Claxton. I haven't taken a single Jalen Green share yet, and I don't plan
Me neither.
on it. Yeah.
But I do like Jalen Green, and he's playing better basketball.
Okay. All right. If you said it,
I
don't know. Like he just.
I mean, just the whole team is.
Yeah, that's fair. Doesn't it just feel like a dude who like only scores? That's all he does.
It does. But
Yeah.
he's adding some steals to his game a little bit. But yeah, no, he is like primarily a scorer. Hasn't eclipsed, 5 rebounds or 4 assists in these stat lines either.
Mm-hmm.
But the Mavs to me just feel like they can be taken advantage of as a matchup.
I think they're playing faster than last year too.
Yeah.
Which is like a good thing for the other team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comparative, because one of our knocks on playing the Mavs last year was always like, well, who cares? Just play Luka because it's just going to be slow in Luka.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's it, right? Yeah. Yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah, this is what they got. They got SGA and $1 billion first for PG. Like it's crazy how bad that aged. Holy smokes.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah.
Stochastic just bumped down Bam a good bit in their ranks. Seeing my projections change.
All right, give us a peek behind the curtain here in a second with some of the biggest outliers and risers and fallers and whatever. This is going to be Giannis for us, I guess. I'm going to be criminally underweight SGA today based on draft slots thus far, which is always a scary proposition.
Scary proposition, but that's a champagne problem.
I mean, Minnesota, we didn't talk about the fact that Minnesota's without their best on-ball defender too, right? Like they lost McDaniels. So that was always like,
good
hey,
point,
this is going to be a tough matchup against Minnesota. And missing Daniels, I mean, like, Ant is a dog, man. But he's so fun to watch play basketball. That dude is so dope. Like, actually, that's the game of the night. I'm calling it right now. Circle the calendar. Ant versus SGA. What was I thinking? That should have been the lead of this show. Last night's game of the year. Tonight, game of the night. Just game of the night.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
I really think this is going to be a fun game. I like Cat a lot. And we didn't really like talk too much.
Supporting your thesis, Nathaniel.
What can I say, man?
There
what can I say? I lied. They've got the blend, the hashtag blend as Bam 6th overall.
Wow. So that's is that ETR not adjusting yet, or is that so it's propping up the blend, or is that ETR likes them more than Stochastic likes them?
No, they actually like them even. That was like my mistake. I don't know what happened with my formulas there when I was pasting in the updates, but
I took Donovan Mitchell over Bam right there. I think I like it better. I was hoping Bam would come back to us.
I like the move.
Yeah. Okay. I like Cat here. I think Cat is like the tier break for me. Like I like what we were looking at here, and then I think I like Cat, and then I kind of just don't know what to do for 5 picks.
No, I think a Cat over Randall, it's like flip a coin.
Yeah, right? Okay. Wow, Bam ahead of Trey on Stochastic now.
Yeah, dude, they are all over him for the FanDuel stuff.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's always the stocks, right? It's always the stocks, and then you funnel more usage his way as like the focal point of that offense without buckets, and good things
Yeah,
happen.
let
But
me see
is
what
that
like
Brook Lopez matchup actually that good? Like
I don't know how it would be. Like Brook Lopez just
exactly
but like Brook Lopez isn't like a big man. You know, like he
right,
guards the big guys, but he's on the
right.
perimeter. He's shooting threes.
Hmm.
So how
Yeah,
I don't see it personally.
long
Um
rebounds and run stretch. Yeah,
yeah.
got it.
They've
Figured it
got
out.
they've got a Bam for his projected stat line on Stochastic for like 24, 10, 4, and like 2.5.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Mobley, Van Fleet, tier break, IMO.
I like Mobley, yeah.
You like Mobley even paired with Mitchell? It's fine.
I think it's totally fine.
Okay, let's do it.
Just plan on them playing at a breakneck pace and knowing that Mobley's going to play a lot.
Mm-hmm. I will say that I think one guy we haven't talked about yet. I think Jaylen Brown's ADP is wrong right now. But if Holiday sits again, I think he's a value.
Yeah.
One of those weird sticky propositions between the two. You know, where
We're
it's
due
like
for a Jaylen Brown night.
we are, and everybody thought it was coming last game after Holiday got ruled out and he got pushed up to like 10, 11,
Yeah, it was
12.
against like the Hornets, right? And he totally
Yeah.
fucking flopped.
Bridges or DeJounte on the run back off of the Cleveland stuff we've built.
So I am like Bridges over DeJounte for sure. However, I think that like the fact that we're doubling up on Cleveland, I think you can make a case for Murray.
All right, let's do it. Let's have a little fun. Switch things up. This is why we hand build and we don't auto.
Yeah, you just
All right.
bet on this environment. Maybe you get overtime. Maybe it's just like Murray running hot and helping push the pace. If you double up on one side, I think a run back low key, like my bro science brain tells me that it kind of makes a little sense.
Yeah, we're pushing the game environment. We're playing for double OT.
Yeah, bud, you ever heard of momentum?
Yeah, you ever heard of correlation and the clutch gene?
So real. Do you believe in clutch? Do you believe in momentum?
I think I think it's hard to be like I think it's hard to be like stats and analytical bro brain and believe in those things, but I do believe there are players that perform in bigger moments that other people can't, that you can't like comprehend or you can't like quantify for. Yeah, I do think there is some merit to that.
Yeah.
Shit, we're back up here. Pirtle goes there. Jared Allen goes there. Should we just load up 3 Cleveland players? Is that insane?
Dude, I kind of I would do it. I would do it.
You would do it. He's saying we would do it. Let's do it.
Like, why not?
I don't know.
Duncan Robinson?
Right, yeah. I mean, like, Claxton was staring us in the face a little bit there. Yeah.
Levine.
Yeah, i.e. Tom Brady. I mean, like, there's just dudes that, like, okay, you remember Winning Time? Like the ESPN 30 for 30 Winning Time about the Knicks?
The Knicks? Wasn't that the Lakers?
Pacers? Knicks versus Pacers? No, Winning Time, the TV show, is HBO Lakers. Winning Time, the 30 for 30, is like about the series of like Pacers versus Knicks.
Oh,
and it's mainly about Reggie.
Okay.
Buddy. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one, right? And anyways, they do this like little segment, one of my favorite segments in any sports doc ever, where they talk about Reggie getting the ball and then they clip everyone together saying the same thing about the play, the presence of mind, and then it clips it all together, right? And then John Starks goes to the free throw line in one of these spots, and like, Mark Jackson is just like, he wanted no parts of them free throws. Like, that's like his quote, right? And it's like, you see it in the guy's eye. I believe in shit like that. Like, I believe there's like certain dudes who don't belong at the line in like certain spots.
Yeah.
Like, I do genuinely believe that, like, yeah, you can tell me this guy's a lifetime, 85 from the line, but then if you put them in that spot, they're all of a sudden a 74. Like I dead ass believe in like that for
Mhm.
sure. So I don't know. Baseball's a really good equivalent of it too. Like clutch ABs, like coming up, I don't like when people are like, oh, he's good with runners in scoring position. Like that's just fucking variance and like
Yeah.
that's whatever. But like if you tell me this guy is, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October level, you tell me this guy's Corey Seager in the postseason, Adolis Garcia, you think that guy wasn't, a
Locked the
dude?
fuck in. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right, shall we you want to rip any more? Or you want to get in those lobbies for the picks?
Let's do a quick pick 'em because I do
All
need
right,
to
let's do
need
it.
to run here in a minute.
Yeah. Ben, yeah, going in the third, he's not anymore. That ADP is fake, but
Yeah.
like people are definitely pushing him up mid second, like that sort of thing. Now,
Yep, he is
um,
appropriate at any point in the second round.
yeah, agreed there. I see. I still don't think I'll take him over Donovan Mitchell tonight, though. But I'll
No,
take him
me
over
neither.
Sangoon, and I'll take him over, that kind of tier. I just fallen victim to the Bam stuff way, way too many times.
Yeah, I know.
Neumy, Oaks. We need a flash sale right now. Come on.
Yeah,
Where's the
I
flash sale?
I need a freebie. The hard
Yeah.
out is like I got a
GA
hard bladder.
yeah. Hard out for Nez. Yeah, I gotta walk on the treadmill for 15. Then I gotta take the dog out. Then we're going for
Hey
manicure
man,
pedicure. Then we're
gotta take care of the mental health.
gonna take care of your chickens.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. All right. So you said the building blocks were Duncan Robinson. Are you sure about this? Building block Duncan Robinson.
Oh, that went up.
Oh yes, I imagine it did.
That went up. Well, man, before we hopped on the show, I was like, I'm pretty sure it went up. I thought it was at 21. It was at
21 and a
22.
half for
It was at
the
22.
PRA.
Yeah, those
Okay.
I still like 16 and a half for his points.
Okay. All right. What who else do we like more than market? Let's do the game that we do with Pete on Fridays there.
Spider.
In terms of yeah, we like the Donovan Mitchell stuff. It's true.
I kind of just like good points too, but I think PRA is fine.
I kind of like threes.
You think?
No. But like I don't know, something about Atlanta and
threes? Am I blind?
threes.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, three threes.
Flat 3.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't it just feel like, Trey hits 2 this way, Donovan comes back, hits 2 on his head the other way? Like, doesn't it just feel like that pace up kind of game where
Yeah.
he loves to go to the hoop though. All right, let's do the PRA. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit now that you called it out.
The gobbler telling us that we need Ant. What do you think about Ant here? Take a look here. Yeah, chime in. Anybody else hanging out in the chat here? We will. I'll throw some cold water on your picks.
Yeah, they said Ant. I mean, we both liked Ant.
We do, but I don't like him enough for 38 and a half. I don't think.
That's pretty fat.
Yeah, that is thick.
We like Cat as well.
I'm like juxtaposing to the projections on the other screen here. I don't think Cat's popping for me.
What about
doubles feels okay, but like
yeah.
Let's play the hits. Let's look at the Bam stuff. Everybody's loving Bam. The models love Bam. How much does Underdog love Bam compared to us?
What do they got? 37 and a half.
10 boards.
That is in line with projections.
But it's like a pure pick 'em.
Yeah, it is. But at least it's flat 10.
Yeah. I don't know. 10, something about 10 feels good, but
I feel like it's going to go to 10 and a half.
I kind of agree with you.
Let me look at another source and tell you if that's
Okay.
10 is good.
Okay. Let's do 10. I like that. Hey, evergreen reminder for everybody hanging out in the chat and whatnot. Jack Miller at ETR wrote a really nice pick on the pick'em stuff. We have a tool on their Fantasy Life has a tool on their site there for building pick'em entries, and so does ETR. Just thinking through this, but threes or fives. Threes or fives is the evergreen statement I will make about the pick'em entries, just in terms of, you can go read the piece, you guys can talk through it and whatnot in the Discord there. But threes and fives seem to be the meta for how many picks you should be putting in these entries.
Yeah, good reminder for everybody to be as plus EV as possible when playing pick'ems. What about
Yeah,
Chet?
this is kind of what we've been doing a little bit with the football correlation stuff. The hoop stuff's a little bit harder in terms of that, but like the football correlation stuff, playing a game environment, like that was the one we got home from off and on the clock on Friday by playing like the Bills side and then having a little bit of run back on the Eagles rushing game.
Yeah,
Chet.
same in the $5 unit.
Chet Spice on the double. That feels fun.
I don't like doing spices, but like that is a decent one.
Yeah, 27 and a half feels low too. I mean, comparative to his ADP and how the market feels about him. I mean, I know we've talked about how the projection models will be low on him in general. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a bad matchup with Gobert and Cat down low.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance that it's just like, just don't ignore the matchup and don't just ride the hype. I think there's maybe something to that.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that I would think of is just like, hey, these points are probably low.
17 and a half.
Yeah.
You like it better than PRA and the double?
Well, let's see here. What is the 17 and a half for points, and elsewhere 17 and a half? That looks fine. PRA is 27 and a half, and elsewhere it is 27 and a half. Yeah, these are all in favor of the sites, so probably not.
Okay. Man, these Milwaukee things are frothy.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Can we go Brooke Lopez on the other side of Bam? Slight negative correlation going PRA and rebounds, but PRA better than going like straight rebounds.
19 and a half. Yeah, that's that's tough, man. That's tough.
Okay. Let's think through some other ones here. I saw Jaylen Brown, T-Bear saying, Terrence saying that Jaylen Brown turnovers. I do love me some playing against Jaylen Brown, and we are low key fading him in the draft games. And if Holiday doesn't play, he's going to be doing a little more ball handling, and he can't go left, and he's going to turn it over.
Sure.
You got a pee so bad you just fucking said sure.
It's fine. It looks good. It's good value. Good enough.
Oh man, you're selling the. I was selling the shit out of that pen, and you just bought it.
I'm in. Let's go.
All right.
Last projection on this thing. Let's maybe look.
Sadiq Bey steals. Okay.
What the
Rozier assists. I like that. I'm on the Rozier stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at Rozier.
Bridges double. Julius Spice. Let's look at Rozier and let's look at Randall. I'm buying a little bit of that. Rozier 6 assists. I love that.
I'm in.
I'm in on that.
We
Okay,
like Rozier.
let's see. Let's look at Julius for a second here. Spice on the blocks. I don't know if I love that.
No, he never
Yeah.
gets a block. You need
Yeah.
that to be 2x.
Yeah. Okay, who else? Who else was mentioned there? Anyone else?
Nothing worth checking out.
Oh, we liked Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, let's see what, but they've already got him pretty like look at these stats, man.
Yeah, I mean that's not a 5th round pick in our contest, guys.
It feels damn good.
Do you like any of those better than Jaylen Brown? The other one we could look at is Claxton too.
Let's look at Claxton.
Okay.
I'd rather just play Mikal in the battle royale.
Okay. Claxton double with a slight boost, 12.5, 9 boards feels kind of good.
I feel like if we do 9 boards, you might as well just do the double.
Yep, good shout.
I know you get a push potentially, but
yeah.
Let's see here. 9 boards though.
What are the models saying?
Steese.
Double Claxton or over Jaylen Brown turnovers?
Jaylen Brown turnovers.
You like the turnovers better?
Yeah, you sold me.
All right, let's see. I sold you on Terrence telling me a story, and I like it. And if Holiday doesn't play, like, let me look at the injury report real quick again. We'll just look at the tweet machine. Anything yet?
No, not that I'm seeing.
Keegan Murray officially out. Yeah, he's still the cover boy there. Okay. All right, let's do this. I like it. Lock it up, boys and girls.
Talon.
All right, let's do this. Here we go. Boom.
Bam, I'm
in the chat there. Let's get it. Bam and bam on the entry.
Bam and bam.
Bam in and bam in.
Let's go.
What was that guy, the chef, that was always like bam?
Admiral Agassi?
Yeah.
Bam!
Bam!
That's what you say when I gotta reserve the bam for whenever we play a spice.
There we go. We go. That could be our new spice it up bit there. Hey, there's Noah, who we congratulated for the puck win last night. Love to see it. Yeah, Claxton has had a hard time scoring, that's for sure. But I don't know. He also hasn't been fully healthy yet. We're here for Claxton.
Yeah, I'm a Claxton apologist.
Yeah, but he didn't make the entry because of the very astute crowd in which we run with talked us into the Jaylen Brown stuff. So you love to see it. All right, Nez. Any parting words, my friend?
I'll see you in the lobbies. I still got some things to draft, so I'll see you guys in there. And tomorrow, big preview show. Week 13 is a big one. We got some frothy slates, so I'm excited to dive in. I want to max the Battle Royale this week. That's my goal.
Ooh, heard it here.
I had a lot of fun maxing the turkey. I mean, when I say a lot of fun, I was laboring at like 1 a.m. on like Wednesday night, like so fucking tired, but I just needed to. I was telling myself I had to max it.
Yeah,
I definitely want to max the BR today. This week that was a lot of fun, and let's put our money where our mouth is. We think we got the edges in these contests. Let's bear it out. Let's see how it works.
Prove it. Love it. Love the prove it mantra. Do us a favor, hit that like, that notification, that subscribe. We'll be back here tomorrow. Probably 2:30 Eastern again. Maybe 3. Maybe 2 or 3 tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, depending on how much we win tonight and how much we're celebrating, may need a delay.
Might be sleeping in, maybe. All right, do us a favor, like, notification, all that fun stuff. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Help keep us around a little bit longer. We like what we're doing around here. I hope you guys do too. And we're just gonna keep pushing the envelope, pushing that boundary on the beautiful platform of the people. See what we can do around here. Appreciate everybody saying all the nice, kind words for the victories, for the top tens for us, and appreciate everybody hanging out this long. Good luck to our pick'em entry, and good luck to everybody in the Underdog Streets this evening. On behalf of Nez and myself, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace. Bless Kawhi Leonard.